Take 4.
Guys, it's Stacy
And Chris, and we're back today to talk to you about chronic conditions and the emotional roller coaster that comes with them.
And basically, we're just talking about the definition of chronic, and that's just persisting for long periods of time or anything that keeps on reoccurring.
Yep. So that can be chronic pain, which we're familiar with. That can be digestive. It can be mental health. It can be, just about anything that falls under that definition. Anything, in my opinion, that affects your day-to-day life, that affects your norm, that affects your ability to function, be emotionally stable, etc. So I would say if you have a chronic condition, you'll probably relate to a lot of what we're going to say. Hopefully something we say helps you today, and know that you're not alone, if nothing else. And sometimes that's all you need. And if you don't have a chronic condition, there's a pretty good chance you know someone who does. Yeah. So hopefully this will help you with some understanding and maybe some empathy.
And I'm going to start off, first of all, by saying, do your research. Your research is very important. And surround yourself with good doctors. Medications, a lot of trial and error. You might not want to listen to everything a doctor says. It's how you feel and what it does and what it doesn't do for you, because doctors aren't gods. And I've learned with my own condition that, and I guess I really want to use an example. When I came home from the hospital, when I first got home from the rehabilitation center, I came home on 46 pills a day. Nobody needs 46 pills a day. Nobody. Now I'm on 3 different medications and I live my life, and it may be 12 pills a day. And it wasn't a doctor that took me off the medicines. It was me. It was how it made my body feel and what it did for me. So I'm going to tell you, I want to say that first of all, you need your doctors. You got to find a doctor that you can trust, a doctor that suits you, that's fitting to you, and that you're comfortable with. And you have a voice. You have a right to say yes or no, or you want or you don't. Doctors are not they're not God. They're not God. That's the best way to say it.
Yeah, and maybe one thing to point out too is, because my experience is a little bit different. I mean, so in the respective medications, at one point I was on 13 a day, now I'm on 1. Okay, so again, drastic difference. My experience was a little bit different because medicine didn't make me feel better. What has made me feel better were things that I figured out that made me feel better. And it's been on more of a non-medicinal path, but it's the same concept. It's finding what works for you.
Yes.
And there have been years. We have both spent 20 years plus in trial and error. So everyone's struggle is different. Everyone's levels of discomfort or severity is different. So you have to find what works for you and what gives you the best ability to cope and be your best every single day, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to say number 2, the foods we eat, the foods that you put in your body, it's important. You may not think it is, but it's very important you watch what you put in your body. Sugars,
fats. I mean, it's all the person.
Different things. You have to be very careful.
Yeah, and that's, so there's lots of aspects that can go into your research, right? And I don't know, that's something maybe we can touch on too, like things we've tried at some point in time. Yeah. But I think the only other thing we really wanted to touch on
I want to say number 3, your community.
Oh, yeah.
Your community. Your community is very important. That is something you need. If it's your husband, if it's a best friend, you need a community around you. You need support. That is one of the most important things you need.
Yeah. So we're going to give you some specific coping mechanisms.
We talked about medications, 1.
Yep.
And that's trial and error. That's total trial and error.
Self-care. So a bath, a walk, a workout, a nap, anything that gives you a sense of peace or a reset, or, I don't know, just any feeling of comfort and relaxation, right? Would you say? Yeah. I mean, you know what you need, but you need to find that and you need to demand that.
That's
for yourself.
Another one is prayer. Prayer is very important.
Whatever you believe in, but
having faith in that higher power.
Right.
It's one of the most important things you need. I walk in faith of God. That's what gets me through my day to day.
Yeah. And then meditation is another one we want to touch on. So not everybody's familiar with it. I think some people look at it a little frou-frou maybe. I don't know, but it doesn't have to be so extreme that, like, as much as I think people have a perception of it, you are just shutting down your mind. You're calming and quieting your thoughts. And it's not easy necessarily to start that practice.
And it's really wonderful. When you learn how to do it, it's a really wonderful thing to try.
It is. And it can start with 1 minute. You just take 1 minute and you center yourself on something and quiet your mind. And it gives you that little bit of reset and maybe peace, clean slate. I don't know. So.
Another one is journaling. That's something that I love to do. I get all my thoughts out. I get all my feelings. I go back. I reflect. And I get to reflect my rights and wrongs, not just...
Yeah, you get to see your growth and you get to see where you need to work on. And...
It's wonderful. That is one of the best tools that has helped me along.
Yep. And then probably the last one is counseling. So obviously more traditional, but...
And not a lot of people are open-minded to counseling.
Yeah, but that's another thing that is may take some trial and error, and absolutely 1000% is dependent on finding the right counselor.
Person. Yes.
So like some people, journaling is...
I went through 3 or 4.
Yeah. Like some people, I think journaling works because that's how so everybody has a certain way that they learn and a like better way they learn, a better way they express. And so for some people, writing is ideal. Other people need a person to talk to throw things off of. They need them to maybe tell them, stop that. Yeah. Right?
She's my person. She tells me stop it all the time.
Yeah, I do. So anyways, those are like probably our top, those are like 6 ideas that you can use. Just immediately you can implement them, try them one at a time, and take tips from us.
And if you have any questions about them, you can always hit us up. We can give you all the information that we have on these different methods that we've come up with. We've used them all. We've researched them all. So we have knowledge of everything.
Yeah. And if we need any further, we'll just guide you in the right direction. Right.
That's it.
So last thing today is we just wanted to ask if you would please be so kind, if you enjoy our videos so far, if you would like, comment, share, follow us.
Tell your girl at work.
And just help us to spread the word about our community. So we can just help more and more people.
It was nice seeing you guys again.
That's it. Love you.